Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the DeVore Wild Fam. Today is going to be a sit-down chat, but first, I wanted to show you guys something. Look, I have my own little space. My husband watched my vlog when I was at my mom's house that I wanted my own little space like this, and he ordered me a desk and a chair off of Amazon. It's not used. It's brand new, but it's really nice. It's got some really nice drawers. This little shelf up here. And I have plenty of room to store my things. And it's got a really deep drawer down here. So I put some of my coloring books and my markers and my pens, and then I still have my nightstand that I need to clean out because some of that stuff could probably come in here. But it is so nice to have my own place to color or get on my laptop to edit my videos, to do a Bible study, to journal, to just sit and read. I'm really enjoying it. It's right underneath our bedroom window. So like yesterday afternoon, I opened up the window. I could see the kids jumping on the trampoline. It's just really nice. There's my new bedspread. I haven't put it on yet because I had just washed our sheets. So I'll probably wash the sheets again this weekend and then put the new bedspread on. Okay, so it's not the most prettiest background, but I'm going to sit at my desk and enjoy my coffee. It's Thursday. The kids are all at school. I only have one appointment today, but it is a long one. It's like 2 hours long. Okay, so I yesterday was sitting here at my desk looking at my laptop, rewatching some of our older videos, like if you go way back to the beginning of my channel. And I am so glad that I have those memories. Some of them I didn't know how to edit. I mean, not that I edit great now, but I didn't know how to do a lot of things yet on the iMovie, and some of the sound quality is terrible. But I was watching this one video when we very first started the channel where we all put paper bags on our heads and we're like running through the house and making up games. And I'm glad I have those because I want to talk about mental health first. So there's going to be a couple things I want to update you on my kids' situation and mental health. I want to update you about buying this house, our budget, and just new beginnings. So just watching that video and seeing my kids laugh, and it was just nice. And we do still have some moments like that, like the trampoline park and when we go sledding. It's rare I can get all of them together like that because I do have almost 3 teenagers now. So Allie is 15. She'll be 16 in July. Parker's 14. And Tiffany will be 13 in June. And our life is not perfect. Some of my kids have some mental health issues going on. Moving here was not easy on any of my kids, but especially I think the older ones. Parker, it didn't so much affect him. He's always been kind of very social, makes friends very easily. Tiffany used to make friends easy. I think she's had a little bit harder time here. And Allie's never made friends easy, but she's always had a close group of friends, if that makes sense. Never like a ton. So I think moving here was really hard on them because we moved from, if you've been following my channel, we moved from Southern California where they had my sister's kids right across the street and my aunt and my mom. And my dad did live 40 minutes away, but he would come down the hill or we'd go up to his house to see him and spend a weekend. My Allie was really, really close to my mom. I'm like every other weekend, my mom would take a couple of the kids over to her house for sleepovers. And then we moved to Northern California because my husband journeyed out from being an electrician, so he was no longer an apprentice. there was more money to be made in the Northern California, and plus my stepson lives there and we wanted to be closer to him. But even with that move, it wasn't as hard because then we had my husband's family not far, and his brother and his brother's kid, and they would go spend time at Adam's mom. Like, she would take, same with my mom, she'd take a couple kids at a time and they spend the weekend there. And Allie got really involved in her school there. She was valedictorian. She had the highest grade point average. She ran, it was called, now I can't remember the name, but it was like this club to just like get kids motivated and to stay off drugs. And she was like the leader of that, and she was just like blossoming. She had not a lot of friends, but more friends I think than she ever had. And she was she got a drama club started up there. Her and her brother did, Parker. It was good. And then stuff happens and we couldn't afford to stay there, and basically we picked a spot on the map. And well, my friend had told us this was a good area to raise kids and we'd find cheaper housing and blah blah blah. We have no family here. Unfortunately, the one friend I had was killed in a car accident the day that we moved here, so we had nobody. And we basically just started over. We had sold everything. We started thrifting, got our furniture from thrift stores, building up their wardrobe. I mean, we got rid of everything. So it was hard on my kids. And then Allie was entering high school. Parker was going to junior high, and Tiffany was going into 6th grade. And I really saw a shift in my oldest daughter's personality, because this is predominantly an LDS, Latter-day Saints community. We are not, but the culture is different here, and I think it was just hard to fit in. So there has been some things. My kids have struggled, and now I see Parker and Tiffany struggling a bit. I'm not gonna get into detail, so please don't comment and ask me. I have just done all that I can do as the mom, trying to be there for them and give them support. So I currently have all my kids in therapy. Well, Kennedy's always been in therapy because she is autistic, but I even have Wes and Jilly in therapy. We had something unfortunate happen in November that, again, I can't discuss, but it affected everybody, including the little ones. So we have, our insurance covers certain parts of mental health. So I was talking to Allie's, it's like a caseworker, and she was like, couldn't hurt Wes and Jilly to be seen also, because they get paired up with like a big sister, big brother program. It's called youth support, and Allie, Parker, and Tiffany get peer support also. And so it can't hurt. They get support. It gives me a little bit of a break. I'm human. I can only do so much. So just watching those videos, like, it made me, I'm glad I have those, because now those kind of moments are few and far between. And I mean, even if there wasn't a struggle right now, it's still, those teenage years are hard. You've seen them. They do this. They don't want to be on the camera. And so I'm really glad that I have those. And I've started this channel. It's going to be 3 years in August, and I don't have a lot of subscribers. I am monetized, but since we've been monetized since last May, I've only made $100. Like, I'm not like pulling in big bucks, but I'm just glad I have those videos to go back and watch. I think that's really important. And I've caught my kids, even the older ones, going back and watching some of those. Sorry, there's like a glare from the mini blinds. I don't know, it can't be helped. So I think that's important. Mental health is important. You don't have to be like severely depressed or like severe anxiety or any of that to go talk to somebody. You can just go talk to somebody. It's okay to do that, and that's what I've explained to my kids, and I think it's good for them to go talk to someone outside of our circle, if that makes sense. So that was the first thing I wanted to bring up. You can go back and watch our old videos. They're pretty funny. That's more when it was just me filming the kids, didn't know what I was doing. Now we talk more about frugality in a large family, because there is 8 of us living here, and my husband only makes $16 an hour. He drives for Coca-Cola. He's a driver, and I am a stay-at-home mom, which leads me into the next subject. So it is the beginning of spring, and it's April 1st, and it's still freaking cold here. There's no snow on the ground, but I just feel like it's new beginnings. So we are renting this house, and it is an old house. It was built in 1978. I don't think the carpet's ever been replaced, so sometimes like the carpet like feels damp all the time. I don't know if it's just because it's cold. The heaters are old. We try not to run them. There is a lot of things that probably need to be fixed in this house. But during the summer, we contacted the owner and asked if he would be willing to sell this place, or lease to own. He wasn't interested in the lease to own, but he said he would be willing to sell it. And so we, did the whole thing and had our real estate agent come in, kind of like appraise it. And he said, $230. Well, we talked the guy down to $220, the owner. But then we had second thoughts, because we were like, maybe we should look around and make sure. Well, then the whole COVID thing happened, and I mean, it was already happening, but the housing market, just has been ridiculous. And so now, like, houses here, which were relatively, cheaper when we first moved here, we've quickly realized that we weren't going to get a better deal, because this house is a 4-bedroom house. It's a 5 for us because we turned one of the closets into, it's a huge like walk-in like storage room. We turned that into a bedroom, so really a 5. And we're like 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom houses now are going for like $300,000, $320,000. A 5-bedroom house is going for like $550 here, which was, I think, unheard of. A lot of people are coming this way, which is jacking up the rent, jacking up, housing prices. There is like nothing for rent around here. Well, and then the area, like our street, you've all seen our street if you follow our channel, is beautiful. We're in a very like prime location. We're within walking distance to the best park in Ammon. We're in walking distance to the best schools in Ammon. I mean, Kennedy's school is in Ammon. It's really good too, but she gets bused because it's about a mile away. But the other kids can walk. Our neighbors are extraordinary. I mean, it's just a very kind community, and everybody wants to live here. And you have the $1 million houses up on the hill, but like for people, that aren't millionaires, they want to live in this neighborhood. Like, it's just a really great neighborhood. So we decided that we'd contact him again and see if he still wanted to sell. And he said yes. He was going to replace the roof and the siding and everything, but then he had his real estate agent come and look, and the guy went back to him and said because of its location and because of the yard, he would say it's worth $380, $290, and he was telling him he was lowballing it because you could probably get way more for this house. But he's nice, and he said, I'll give it to you guys for $240. Well, that's our max, is $240. So that's what we got approved for. There'd be no wiggle room to fix anything or, like tear out do any extra projects. But my husband is saying we ought to take it, because I think he's right. Housing prices are just going to keep going up, and I don't think we're going to find anything better than this. And we can refinance in a year. Also, we paid off all of our credit cards, and I'm just going to say our car's paid off. We owe about 10 grand on it. It's not, but the loan officer was telling us that wait until we're finished with buying this place before we pay off the car. Like, I've never bought a house before. Adam handles the bills. Something about like, so it looks like you have like credit or something. So he told us to hold off on the car, paying the car off until this was figured out. But we have that set aside. So that money is just for the car. It's not touched. So basically we're debt free, which is awesome. So we have a pretty big nest egg even after the car's paid off. Like, we still have some money that we've put into our savings account. So if something were to happen, like say we buy the house and the water heater goes out or whatever, like, we have the money to replace it. Or if we want to tear out the carpet ourselves and put in new carpet, I'm not sure what's underneath this carpet. It might be hardwood floors, I don't know, or replace the hardwood floors like in the dining room and kitchen because it's warped. Like, we have the money to do that. It would just be coming out of our pocket, or we can wait a year when we refinance and then have some wiggle room. But it scares me, you know, it does scare me. Plus, you know, now that our credit cards are all paid off, if there was a true emergency, like what credit cards should be used for, like we have a Home Depot card, like we could put it on that. I'm scared. I've never been a homeowner. So, I mean, I kind of wish that we would have did it this summer. But, I mean, my husband did have a point. He said 220, but he would have still sent out his guy. So who knows, you know, what they would have said. We do have to have the house appraised, like have an actual inspector come. So I know there's things wrong with it. So that could lower the price right there if things need to be fixed, or, you know, he might have to fix them. I don't know how it works. I'm not savvy on buying home. I know I'm 44, but I've never owned a home before. So I'm new to the whole thing. Adam's a lot more smart. He's been reading up and talking to people, and he has a real estate friend, and so he knows more than I do. But I don't know. I'm scared, but I think we ought to do it. It will raise. So our rent, it's gonna raise when we have a mortgage. It will be about $100 more, just because of the way things are right now. But not having credit card debt or a car payment, that will be easily attainable. He only makes $16.90 an hour, almost 17, but he is getting a raise, so he'll be making close to 20. It's a big raise. He'll be like 19 something, so that is good. I do get SSI now for Kennedy. It's almost $700 a month. We just got that. We just got back paid from September. But when we are homeowners, like when everything goes through, we will lose that, because I don't understand. Like, you can't own something. I don't know. It's confusing. But we have that money in savings too. So I think we ought to do it. So I'm just like, it's scary, but I'm just trying to encourage myself that, hey, I can tear up the yard now. Like, I can tear out the lawn. We can put in a nice garden. It probably won't be this year, but I am going to plant a few things this year. I am going to, but like next year, because this house will be ours, we can do whatever we want. I could paint the walls. I can take down the crappy wallpaper that's downstairs. I can replace the carpet. You know, just this house has a lot of potential to be really cute. Maybe when we refinance, I can tear out that wet bar that's downstairs, because the guy was saying you could technically put another room there, like if you wanted to add on, or the fireplace that doesn't work down there, you could tear that down. There's like 5 feet of extra space, like that's just wasted space from that fireplace. Like, we even talked about, we have the bathroom in here, but right next door is another bathroom. Making this one big bathroom like a Jack and Jill bathroom, because we don't need 3 bathrooms. So that you could have because the bathrooms are really tiny. Like, you can make just one big bathroom with like a separate shower and tub. I mean, I'm just dreaming, you know, but it does have a lot of potential, and it's gonna go for a lot more just because of the house and yard. Now, the good thing is, I was scared, like if it falls through or we can't do it or we change our minds. He did tell Adam, the owner of the house told Adam, I will not, if you guys don't buy it, I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to kick you out. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you guys don't want it, go find somewhere else to live. He would just keep renting to us. So there's that. Real quick, I'm editing this video and I'm talking about buying the house. I forgot to mention that Adam did have a good point, and so did our friend who's a real estate agent. Like, as soon as we were to buy this house, we'll be making money, because, you know, if we decided to sell in a couple years, we could probably get even more for it. So there is that to consider too. And again, I mean, you can't beat the street and the yard. So now our budget, we need to sit down and make a new budget because we won't have credit card payments. I mean, we didn't have a lot, but we had enough. And the only one I'll probably keep revolving is our Kohl's card, because it really does pay for itself when you have Kohl's cash and the discounts and everything. I like to keep that mainly for back to school, or like when they need like new shoes. I did use it to get some of the kids some stuff, you know, for the upcoming season changes, because I get some winter stuff that's cheaper because it's on clearance right now, if that makes any sense. For the most part, we get a lot of our clothing from thrift stores. None of my kids have a ton of clothes. Me and Adam don't have a ton of clothes. It makes it a lot easier if you don't have 50 million choices. We're not minimalists at all, but we do keep things to a minimum as far as clothing and toys. I mean, you've seen Kennedy's room. We don't have like a lot of toys. More than anything, we have a lot of art supplies right now just because of that school grant. So they have an abundance of paper and markers and crayons. But I mean, I did get this nice new desk, and he said he paid about $100 for it, and then I think the chair was $50. So that's really not that expensive for me to have a nice little space for myself. So basically, it's just, you know, we have our utilities, our cell phone bill, which we're actually changing. So we don't need like unlimited, all that crap. So we're going to be changing that. The only other kid that has a cell phone is Allie, and her grandmother pays for that every month. She's on her plan. We've canceled Netflix. We have Disney Channel right now, and we have Amazon Prime. And actually we had canceled Hulu, but because the T-Mobile merged with Sprint, I don't know, there was something like Hulu came free with our plan, but it's got commercials in it, which it's free. We don't care about commercials. That's it. Like, that's all the bills that we have. Like our furniture's paid, like everything's paid off. The car will be paid off. And that will make, when we do the budget, really easy. I'm just not going to factor in Kennedy's SSI, because if we do buy this house, I don't know if we'll keep that. So I'm just not even going to put that in the budget. If we do get to keep it, great. That will be an extra almost $700 a month. Groceries, today's April 1st. So we're really messed up for March because I went on that trip and I was sick. So I was not tracking anything. And my husband, you know, when he goes to the store, he buys a lot of prepackaged food, like easier stuff, gets the meat that he wants. So we probably went way over the $550, $600. I don't even know. He wasn't saving the receipts, because I like to take pictures of my receipts and put them on Fetch. I don't even know what we spent for the month of March. It probably was close to like $800. I'm just guessing, but it's April 1st. Besides a few things like some cheese and some more milk, I need to get some eggs to dye Easter eggs, and we're like, all we have is apples, so I need to get some produce. Besides that, we will be eating out of our pantry and freezer this month. I'm going to try to keep our grocery bill under $500 again, so I will keep you updated on that. We are a family of 8, so it is a challenge, but we have a pretty good stocked pantry and freezer as far as like frozen veggies and canned veggies and all that stuff. We still have 2 whole chickens in the freezer, some ground beef. I still have stew meat. We have a ton of pinto beans and rice and oats. So, you know, I think I can do it. I did it before. I did it for 1 month. I think it was February. I was under $500. So it is possible. And that, you know, I'll budget probably $600, but try to stay under that for groceries. So yeah, a lot of things happening, probably a lot of changes coming our way, but I'm excited. Even though we're not doing a huge garden this year, this has been too cold. I think I said in the last video I couldn't start seeds. Our tarp thing broke for our greenhouse. Yeah, I could keep them inside, but they'd probably die because this house is really cold. And I don't have anywhere to put them without Kennedy getting into them. So we've already kind of mapped it out. We're going to do like tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, yellow squash, some jalapenos, and then I'll do some like herbs like basil and oregano again, rosemary. Just the chamomile did pretty good last year. We're not gonna do like a ton. I'm not gonna do like potatoes or anything like that. Plus, our neighbors do a huge garden every year, and they always tell us, please, because there's only 2 of them. So they tell us to go pick whatever we want. So, and I did do that last year. I got a lot of kale and stuff from them because ours didn't produce that well last year. So, what do you guys think? I'm nervous about buying the house, but I think Adam's right. I think we need to take a leap of faith. I don't think we're gonna find. I mean, I've looked and we've looked, and there's nothing that was in our price range, and even the stuff that was like right at $240. They weren't in great neighborhoods, or they had no yard, or they had no garage. I think we should just do it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And, you know, if you're feeling like you need to talk to somebody, just make an appointment. I'm actually going to go back to therapy for myself, because having teenagers, let alone 6 kids living at home, one with a disability, is stressful. It can be hard. And I need that support myself. Okay, guys, I had like a whole list of stuff I wanted to talk about, and I don't know where I put it. I am gonna go on a walk. Well, first I'm gonna finish my coffee, and then I'm gonna walk, and I don't have to be anywhere until 10:40, so I got like an hour and a half all to myself. Chicken tendies, bye.